Australian Hindus harassed by Muslim neighbors vandalizing idols with feces. In a disturbing video that has sparked outrage among Hindus after it went viral on social media platform, including TikTok and Twitter. In the video, two Muslim women in Sydney, Australia are seen vandalizing a Hindu religious statue with used menstrual pads and wet tissues, actions that have been interpreted as hate towards other religions. One woman, identified as Farah, later accused her husband, or excuse me, her Hindu neighbor Shania of being racist towards her religion and mocking the hijab. Reactions online were strong, with one user expressing disbelief and anger, saying, quote, "Be it women, children, or men who believe in Islam, you will find all of them hating other religions. Imagine if other religions had done similar work with them." The incident, which involves the defiling of a Shivalingam, a sacred representation of the Hindu god Shiva, has deepened tensions between the two neighbors, with an additional video documenting their ongoing feud. While Farah has since uploaded an apology, the video cannot be found as of August 15th, and the matters continue to stir controversy. So, I saw this go down
Up, you got Roboty. Guys, is Susanna
on
Roboty just for me or
Twitter,
for
and
you
I was
guys
like,
as well?
I don't, and I wanted to.
Okay, I think
Should
you're
I
back
continue?
now. Is Susanna Roboty? You go back a little bit and then continue, say.
Basically, I saw people talking about this on Twitter, and I didn't want to cover it until I saw like more information to see what happened. So basically, there was this girl who comes from a Hindu family in Australia, and she was posting on her TikTok the harassment that they allegedly experienced from their Muslim neighbors. And this includes, so they would catch on camera their Muslim neighbor, who's like this older woman, like putting menstrual pads that were like made to look like there were blood on them, like all over the Shiva Lingam that's outside their apartment, kicking over their Tulsi plant, which is like a sacred plant. Um, and allegedly also, I mean, they've showed photos of them smearing feces all over their front door and like actively harassing them when they leave their house, including saying, like, you'll never know our next move and all this stuff. They allegedly also accused the Hindu dad of pointing a gun at them, which resulted in this man being arrested, even though apparently or allegedly, again, there was no weapons found on their house or in their premises. And when the police responded, there is that video in the description. The policewoman is saying, "Oh, well, if it's so bad, just move. Just move." And it's like, no, it is not my job to move when I'm being harassed. It is your job as law enforcement to protect me as a citizen. Have you lost your mind? That's why you have a job. That's your responsibility. So that I don't have to flee in my own home when I've done nothing wrong. Your job is to actually take action against the people that have wronged us. And so I sent this to our writer and he did a deep dive into the TikTok feud that's been going back and forth. He's like, this is one of the most wild things I've ever seen. And it resulted in finally the Muslim girl who's like clearly grown up in Australia her whole life putting forward an apology, which, look, this didn't happen to me. I have no say in this, but it was like one of the worst apologies I've ever heard. It's just like saying I'm sorry over again and being like, "Oh, I know how it feels to be insulted because of my religion." And but no actual, when you make an apology, you're supposed to be specific about what the harm was, right? That's like number 1 step for an apology is you're like you can specifically address what you did wrong. And yeah, so I included a few videos of what went down in this article. A lot of them have been like deleted by the users who originally are posting them. So it's a little bit more difficult to piece the story together, but I saw them when they were still up. And this was really, really wild. This is the most blatant Hindu bigotry I've seen in a long time, especially in the quote unquote West.
See, this is an actual case of anti-Hindu bigotry. Okay, not when people insult your religion or make cartoons of your god, or criticize your religion. That is not bigotry. This is an actual form of bigotry because it involves harassment, and doing something to other people's property. Like, it's not your property that you're like, and also it's a biohazard. It's disgusting. It spreads disease.
Literally,
Like,
they
this is
couldn't even stay in their house because they smeared feces. Again, this is all alleged because it's hard to tell what's real when this is a back and forth online feud. Let's be clear. But
right.
it's like they smeared feces all across their front door and on the door handles and everything. It's
What the
disgusting.
hell?
It's
What
vile.
kind of person does that? What the hell? Yeah, guys, this is not blasphemy. This is harassment. This is a form of, you know, s- it's disgusting. It's a biohazard. It's also other people's property, right? Like, even somebody in the live chat was like, I think, was saying that I would be fine if they just did it to the statue. I don't agree with that at all because
Oh,
it's
hell
not your
no.
statue. If it's like, oh, they're harassing the people, but what if they did it only to the statue? Well, it's not yours. Like, at least when we desecrate the Quran, I paid for the Quran. It's my Quran. I don't go do it to someone else's Quran. So yeah, this is none of the this is so for people by the way, I'm glad that you highlighted this because people think that we don't highlight anti-Hindu bigotry. We do. There's a lot of things that Hindus think it is anti-Hindu bigotry, and it's not. But when we find an actual case of anti-Hindu bigotry, we call it what it is, right?
Yeah. This is a
Yeah.
super egregious case of it. Like, I tried to go through and understand the videos as much as I could, but I do want to be clear, just in case more information comes out about this, that I'm just operating off of the information available. It is hard to tell when people are just beefing on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But then when the girl came out and made an apology for it, I was like, "Oh, so this is a real thing that happened." That's what made me wanna cover it. I'm like, "Oh, you're even acknowledging it and acknowledging your part in it. So this actually
Right.
happened."
Happened. Yeah, okay. That's good. It's been verified. Um cool. We got a super chat by Gasian American.
Ooh.
Shiva accepts all offerings, but this is a biohazard. Yeah. I was thinking, would it be disrespectful if I go find put a condom on a Shiva lingam? I think that would be interesting if I did that
If it's your
because it's
own,
well, I mean,
yeah,
I'm
do
not
it on your own
damaged yet.
Shiva.
I'm just protecting. I mean, I'm protecting Shiva. Shiva is constantly being rubbed and touched. It's dangerous. I'm just trying to protect Shiva's genitals. And just I think Shiva would appreciate if we all go around and put a condom on every Shiva lingam because everybody's touching it, and I don't know if they wash their hands and stuff. I don't know if somebody's touching your genitals. I think like you would want a condom on each one of those
I mean, it
Shiva
is
lingam.
literally his penis. His penis almost burned the whole world, and so,
Right.
Shiva also should be practicing safe sex.